Well, hello everyone. The time is passing. 21, day 21. I've opened this as well. In fact, I'm going to go backwards today because what I'm going to do is start off by showing you the card that I've made, and then I'll just go quickly through the process. I have other things I have to get on with. So here, first of all, is what was in the packet. A little tree in a little pot. And it seems kind of simple, so I just thought I'd have a little bit of fun with the effect on the pot. So here's the card that I made. And for the pot, I dug out a really, really old pot of embossing powder. This is Verdigris. It's got green and coppery in it. The effect that copper has, in fact, when it's oxidized. So I embossed the pot, first of all with Verdigris, and then I added just a little additional copper around the edge and a few dots on the top, using my Versamark pad and also an embossing pen. This is a pen Zig 3D Emboss Writer. So if you write with this, embossing powder will stick to it. For the top, I just used a few shades of green. Using the emboss marks from the die, you can see all these little marks on the die itself, using those as the areas to add different shades of green. So that was basically kind of it. I keep saying every day, one of these days, I will do a quick card. So I'm just quickly now going to show you how I went about colouring these two die cuts. So I've got some die cuts here, two more. There we go, the pot and the tree. Now the pot will allow the tree to be placed in it, not kind of behind it, because there are lines here. In fact, there's a couple that you can choose from. There's one that's right far back there, but I think I prefer this one here. So your tree base, the stalk, the stem, whatever you care to call it, this bit at the bottom, will fit in there so that it looks like it is in the pot and not behind the pot, if you get my drift. Okay, so quickly, let's just colour this tree itself. I added the colour and then I gave it some shape, kept the shape in there with some foam tape on the back. So first of all, let's just do a bit of colouring. Got a bit of scrap here, been used before, but I think they'll be okay. So for the green, I'm going to use, I tend to use 3 shades. So there's a dark one, a medium one, and a lighter one. We'll try with those. I'm not sure if they're the exact ones I used for that. Who knows? That may have been the lighter one. That may have been the middle one. I don't know. That'll do. Let's leave it at that. And for the trunk, I just used a couple of browns. Okay, now as I mentioned, this has got lots of little indentations from the die itself. So I'm going to use those to just add some of the darkest colour. There are some dots and there are some kind of lines. So the dots I'm going to use with the darkest green. Then the lines I'm going to use with the medium green. And then I'm going to go over the lot and blend the lot with the lightest one. Okay, let's put the lighter one all over everywhere. Then I'm going to go back and add a bit of additional shading. Now I think this one is lighter than I used before, isn't it? I prefer the deeper green. So let's go back and get I don't remember what I used exactly. Let's have this middle. There's 2 there that I could have chosen for the middle. Let's just see. Let's try this one. the joy of markers, you can just keep going over it. Going back over where I did the lines now. Okay, let's have this one as the finishing one. That's more like it, isn't it? Yeah, I think that's definitely more like it. Okay, now I'm going to add a bit of extra shade to the left-hand side, as is my wont. There we go. Maybe some odd little bits inside, like that again. Underneath. That is the right one, yeah. And then just a blend in with this one. It looks quite nice. Okay. The trunk, a deeper brown down one side. And then the lighter brown all over it. Okay. And then the lot, I added a little wink of Stella. Now this morning, you would not believe how this happens. I was taking the top off my pot of my wink of Stella. The bottom shot away. And I just literally can't find it. I don't know if it's gone into a box, I don't know where it's gone. I just can't find it. So I've had to open a new one. So here's a brand new wink of Stella. I've just put it in. There's a little collar that comes on it when you first get them. And that needs to be removed. And then you need to get the... There it is. It's flowing now. Can you see? So we'll just go all over that. Ooh, lovely. I just thought if I'm going to emboss the pot, the tree needs to look a bit flash as well. So there we go. We'll put that over there to dry. Now, here is my pot. First thing I want is my Versamark. So here's my Versamark. I'm just going to press it on all over. And now I'm going to emboss with the Verdigris. So pop a bit of Verdigris on it. And my tweezers. There we go. I think I'll pop that down onto a bit of, I've got a bit of heat-proof mat here. Let me just, because it's going to be difficult because it's so small to keep down, if you know what I mean. Let's get it in the right pot and then, okay. Now I think what I'm going to do is just use a pokey tool to, you know, hold it down. Because it's on a heat-proof mat, I don't have to worry about what's underneath. Okay, that looks quite nice as is, but I thought it would be quite good to add a little bit of shading to it. Oh, I've knocked a bit off. Look at that. To wait until it's cool. I'll put a bit more on there. Let's add a bit more. I'll perhaps just dunk it in rather than tipping it over. There we go. Okay, now that that's done, oh, I've done it again. Oh, I think we're safe this time. I'm going to add some extra copper down the side, along the bottom, this side, and a few spots on the top as well. So, I think it's cool now. Yeah, it's cool. So I'm just going to drag the edge of this across the Versamark, like that. Little on the bottom, and to do a little on the other side, and that's all. So now I think I'll actually drop this into the copper pot as well. This is just going to do some bits down the sides. So just melt this. Okay. Now, the effect that I got with the other one was with my embossing pen. So, rather than use Versamark, I use this 3D emboss, it says. It's got 2 different size nibs on each end. And just do a few little bits like this. So they should just pick up a little of the powder. Can you see on there? Just those few little marks. I'm just going to heat that. So that's just given a different sort of effect. It's just a bit of fun, really. So there's my pot. If I can get it off the end of my tweezers. Let's put that away. Put the lid on this. So now all I have to do is to make sure I've got the hole at the top for the tree to go in. Pop that inside. And then add some foam tape to the back to keep a bit of dimension. So here's some foam tape. Pair of scissors, a little for the top of the tree there, a little from the bottom of the pot, bottom of the tree there, and in order to put it onto I've cut 2 little panels, and I cut these just the size that it would be big enough for this, that would fit into one of my offcuts. It was the largest size square that I could get out of some of my offcuts. So in order to shape it, I'm going to just pull it round a little bit, top and bottom. I'm going to add a little glue to the edges here, here, there and there. Then I'm just going to take off the foam tape backing, 1 piece, 2 pieces, and then I'm going to pop this onto its little mount. I'll push down the sides. It's fun, isn't it? It looks really vibrant. Now, to tie this in with this, all I simply did was to swipe a little Versamark down the edge, each side of this square, to make sure I've got some coverage. Paper to put some. Couldn't find a piece of scrap just then. Unlike me. Add some of this. Just leave that there for a moment while I shoot this away. Here's a piece of wax paper, I think. Reminds me how to do some more techniques with wax paper. That's such good fun. Okay, now I'll heat this. Now, this little mark there, you notice I didn't tap off the excess and it all went all over my mat. So, beware, always tap off the excess. So, all I'm going to do to fill in that little gap is to use my pen like this. Fill it in like that. A little more embossing powder. I'm going to have to tap it over this, aren't I? There we go. And that will have filled in that little gap where my tweezers were holding it. There we go. Just heat that bit off. So all I need to do now is to stick one on t'other, and we've got another card. It's quite sweet. And pop that onto my new card base. So it's just a little bit of fun, using up some old embossing powders. So day 21, done. Day 22, tomorrow. So I hope you'll join me then. Thank you so much for watching.